another list. This one is entitled, Is He Cheating? Where did my list go? Before we dive into this list, I understand that there's a lot of nuance, and just because your partner might do some of these things, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are cheating on you. Please don't be arguing with me in my comment section, because I block people for any reason at all at any time. Also, to the people who are going to complain that I need to just move my head so you can see the list, do you go to the movies and they tell you the beginning, middle, and the end, and then you go home after a couple of seconds? No. Do you watch a TV show and then they tell you what happens and the beginning, middle, and the end in the first few seconds, and then you can turn to something else? No. Do you listen to a podcast and they tell you the end of the podcast and say, okay, thanks for tuning in? No. You can speed up my voice, you can fast forward the video, or you can keep scrolling. It's not my problem that you woke up and have a bad fucking attitude. Now let's begin. Number one, you can just feel things are off. Their normal patterns have changed. Now, yes, before someone argues with me, I know that sometimes people go through shit and they just distance themselves to figure things out. Please understand, I am not talking about normal situations in this video. Trust your gut. You know, if your partner used to call you every day at 12 p.m., 3 p.m., and 6 p.m., and now they're calling you every day at 9 p.m., and sometimes they even forget to do that, you can come to them and be like, hey, I noticed things have kind of switched up a bit. What's going on? You're allowed to question things, you know, you don't have to be accusatory or anything about it, but you're allowed to question if patterns have switched up. But this one, I chose it because when they're cheating, they gotta figure out a time to do it, right? So they gotta fit that other person in there some kind of way, which might mean that that person is going to take up the slots of time that they used to devote to you. Sometimes when people do suspicious shit, they have a guilty conscience and they just don't want to face you because they know what they're doing is horrible. My abusive ex-husband used to randomly start an argument so that he could have an excuse to leave the house to cool off, when in actuality he was just running the streets. Number two, he has a friend that wants to suddenly become your BFF. Now, I totally get it. He might have a friend that is a woman and she really is legitimately simply just getting to know you. Again, as I've stated a few times before, I'm not talking about those normal circumstances in this video. In this case, she is getting to know you because you are her competition, and she wants to know as much about her enemy as possible. She wants you to tell her what your next steps are going to be so that she can be 2 steps ahead. She wants you to feel comfortable enough to complain to her about shit that he is doing so that she can go back and tell him and play the role of supporting, loving friend. And I can't believe she would talk about you like that. Number 3, those closest to him, his family, his friends, make jokes that he is no good, okay? He can't be trusted. Jokes are based in truth. They come from somewhere. They are based on something. If they're telling you he ain't shit, ha 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 ha, no, it's because they're telling you something. Listen. Number 4, he wants things to stay private. Now again, I know that sometimes people just genuinely don't like social media, but if he is posting every time he goes somewhere, he's posting his mom, he's posting his sister, he's posting his job, he's posting everything except for his social security number, but he seems to draw the line at you. And I would be kind of leery about that. Now, I get it. Some of you are going to get defensive and say, well, I don't like social media either. Okay, again, I'm not talking about you. Calm down. But to those of you who, you know, you like to share pictures of your family and your man on social media, and he keeps shooting you down and he just doesn't want to do that, that will hurt my feelings. And it's okay to say, hey, I want to post our relationship. I want people to know that we are together. I think you're fine, and I want to post that to the world. And he keeps shooting you down because he wants to stay private, but he's posting everything else. I don't know. That's just kind of weird to me. The types of guys I'm talking about in this video don't want to post you because they don't want anyone to know that they are in a relationship. They want to keep up the appearance that they are single. I kind of talked about this in number 1, but number 5, he starts random arguments as an excuse to leave and to distance himself from you. He needs every chance he can get to be around this other person that he is seeing. And if he can't seem to figure out quite how to do that between work and spending time with you and working out or whatever other hobbies he might have, then he's just going to make up some shit. He's going to be pissed off by something and need to clear his head. He might even tell you that he needs some space in the relationship. If you come to me and you tell me you need space, that's as good as a breakup to me, and we're done and you don't have to worry about me again. But if he's always just starting random arguments and always needing space and needing a reason to leave and needing a break, there's somebody behind that. There's somebody he's trying to see and fit into his life. Which brings me to number 6. I kind of discussed this a little bit. He says he needs space. If a man comes to you and says that they need space, what I need you to hear is, let's break up. To pack your shit, wash your hands of it, block him, and just be done. Needing space is, I need time to cheat and have a clear conscience about it. Again, I understand in normal situations, somebody really might need space because there's a lot going on and they just need time to sort it out. But again, I am not talking about normal situations. As women, we are always trying to find ways to excuse these men and make it be something else when it's actually just the thing that we are thinking. We're in denial. These men are guilty until proven innocent. Number 7, he's no longer sure about your future. At one point, it was all y'all could talk about. Y'all were making set plans to look at houses. Y'all were going to be engaged at this point. Y'all were planning on kids. And now when you're excited and you bring it up, oh, well, I don't know about that. You know, things could change. I don't know. Someone else has popped into the picture and has shaken up the plan. And now he's considering a future with them. He doesn't want you to look forward to anything because he might not be with you in the future. Now, it's okay to talk about it and ask him, hey, what happened? Yesterday you were planning our wedding and today it just seems like you kind of have cold feet. What happened? But if they keep, humming and hawing and they can't give you a straight answer and they just seem really vague all the time and they seem like they're no longer sure about you, there's one thing you need to be sure about. That relationship is over. Number 8, out of nowhere, he's a new man, but not necessarily to be a better man for you or to be a better man in general. He's got a new attitude. He is working out. He is changing his clothes. He is going out more. Yes, sometimes people can change because they want to genuinely lose weight and take care of themselves and be more social. But sometimes the situations that I'm specifically talking about, they are changing to impress the new person. They have gotten this new jolt of energy because they are infatuated with someone else. It's okay to say, hey, where is this coming from? What motivated you to get this started? And then just keep these other signs that I'm talking about in mind as well. Number 9 is important. You get random vaginal infections, odor, itching, burning. Go to the doctor ASAP. Number 9 is very important. Number 9 could permanently fuck you over and ruin your life. I used to work at a makeup shop and I would spark up just random conversations with various customers that would come in. And I met this woman who was a gynecologist. And I don't know how this conversation even got started, but she told me that she delivers the most bad news about somebody having contracted a disease to women who are married and women who are in committed relationships. And just think about this for a second. Women who are just dating and being Blanche Devereaux, we're more likely to protect ourselves against STDs. But if you are married or in a relationship, you feel like you can trust them. So if that person is cheating on you, they can easily give you and pass on anything that they have contracted from the person that they are cheating on you with. And I remember that gynecologist telling me that it is the most heartbreaking part of her job to tell a longtime married woman that she has now gotten AIDS or herpes or some other non-curable STD or something that she has to, treat for a while. And they thought that they could trust their partners. It's heartbreaking.